Close of play of the first day of the third test between England and India at Headingley. Where do you start? What an extraordinary day, with India choosing to bat first, bowled out in 40.4 overs for 78. 16 of those were extras, so just 62 came from the bat. They were bowled out in 40.4 overs. James Anderson, 3 for 6. Ollie Robinson, 2 for 16. Sam Curran, 2 for 27. And Craig Overton back in the side, 3 for 14. Rahul was out for the fifth ball of the day for a duck. Sharma, 105 balls for his 19. He was sixth out. After Pujara was out for 1. And Kohli for 7. Caught by Butler, the bowling of Anderson in both cases. Rahane, 18. Rishabh Pant out just after lunch for 2. Jadeja, 4 from 29 balls. Then the irony of all ironies, the two tail-enders that held England up at Lords and actually helped India to win the game, Shami and Bumrah, both out first ball on this occasion. Shami to Overton, caught by Burns at slip, and then Bumrah was LBW to Curran without scoring as well. Both out first ball. It's such an ironic game, isn't it, this? Siraj was the last man out for 3. 78 all out. And England in reply, 120 for no wicket. They lead by 42, having not lost a wicket. Burns, 52 not out, and Hasib Hamid, a really good 58 not out. He was dropped on 47, a low chance to Sharma's left hand at second slip, but otherwise he looked, I thought, really, really well set. So we might get Jimmy Anderson in a second, actually. I'm just looking down there and I can see Eleanor raising a thumb, and so let's just see. I'm hoping we can. Eleanor.
Yes, James Anderson. It's a strange old sport, Test cricket, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. We had a really low week at Lords, or certainly that last day, but we've had a good few days off to sort of let that pass and then concentrate on the good things we did at Lords, because we played really well for 4 days there. So we came here really hungry to try and get ourselves back in the series and show some fight, and I thought we did that brilliantly with the ball. The whole attack, I thought, bowled really well throughout, and then the two guys there back with the bat just again showing so much skill and fight to get us in a really good position in this game.
And tell us about the first 3 wickets. So you took the first 3 wickets, all caught behind, and when Virat Kohli was out, I don't think I've ever seen you look so happy.
Yeah, I was definitely happy. I think, as I said, it's kind of, we knew it was an important game. This is an important Test match for us, so we wanted to start well. Losing the toss and them choosing to bat, it's always a tricky one as well. We weren't quite sure how the wicket was going to play, but I thought we just adjusted to the conditions really well. We got some seam movement and some swing movement early, and we just asked a lot of questions of their batsmen, and I thought, we got our rewards throughout the day, and just I think everyone's sat up in the dressing room really happy.
If Joe had won the toss, would you have been nagging at him to let you have a ball anyway?
Do you know what? I thought it was a bat as well, but Joe was maybe leaning towards the bowl, but we'll never know what he would have decided to do. It was taken out of our hands, which I think obviously today it wasn't a bad one to lose, we were, as I said, weren't sure how the wicket was going to play. I didn't think it played particularly badly. I thought it was quite a good wicket, just swung a little bit early on, and we made good use of it.
Were you quite happy to only have one spell to bowl in the end? You bowled 8 overs straight.
Yeah, I mean, we've bowled them out, so yeah, it's brilliant. Still feel fresh. After a couple of the first 2 Test matches, bowling a lot of overs, it is nice to have an innings or 2 during the series, especially when the Tests are so close together, to get some rest. And I thought, as I said, everyone bowled brilliantly. Even Craig coming in, who's not played for a while, I thought he bowled really, really well and deserved his 3 wickets.
And you look fresh, as you say. I just wonder, when are there days when you've had a week off and you get up in the morning and you have to stretch a bit and you feel a bit achy? Do you get that at all? Do you do anything to keep you feeling fresh and physically fit? Yeah,
so the obviously after 2 sort of rigorous Test matches, as the first 2 were, I think everyone wanted some downtime, so we took a few days off, and when we came back here, I think there was a little bit of sort of lethargy there. It did take the guys a little bit of time to get going, but once you realise we've got a Test match to play, and especially when you turn up on a day like this at dare I say it, a really special ground with a great crowd, the adrenaline starts going, and then you just sort of start you get right back into it and you switch on. So it was just it was one of those where we needed those few days off, but I think we've rested well and performed really well today.
I think you're allowed to say it's a special ground, even though you're from Lancashire. And just a final word about the opening partnership as well, because I mean it's just perfect, isn't it? 120 without loss, and you must be so happy for Haseeb Hameed as well.
Definitely happy for both of them, to be honest. You know, Rory's someone who's come into the side and done really well, and Haseeb got his chance again at Lords last week. Didn't quite work out for him, but he's come. You know, I think the fact that he's been around for a few months now in this team, and we've seen how he's worked in the nets and how his game's progressed in the last couple of years. I think it was sort of not inevitable, but I just feel like you could see he's in a really good place, and he's started very well in this Test match, and hopefully he can go on tomorrow.
Well done, Jimmy. Go well.
Cheers, Ali. Thank you.
There we go. Thanks, Eleanor. And well bowled Jimmy Anderson. 3 wickets in his first spell, 3 for 6, and didn't come back because the others did the job for him. A remarkable day. Michael Vaughan is alongside me, and Deep Das Gupta as well. Michael, let's start with you. I mean, how do you begin to explain a day like that?
Well, it just it almost sums up Test cricket. It sums up particularly this England side that you're never quite sure what you're going to get. Looking back at the toss, it was a great toss to have lost. I'm pretty sure Joe was going to bat. I'm absolutely with Jimmy Anderson. It did a bit. It swung, it seemed, but you only have to look at the second half of the day when England were batting. That was flat. So India only had to do the hard yards for 30, 35 overs. You're not going to go through 35 overs at Headingley on the first morning without losing a wicket or two. But what you have to do as a batting unit is make it very, very difficult. You can't offer mistakes. And I thought the tone was set from that drive in the first over by KL Rahul, the player in form, the player that India have been looking to. And he played such a poor shot in that first over. The outside edge was found. Pujara looks all at sea. He just looks like he's lost his mind, he lost his technique. It looks to me like he's playing purely for survival. Jimmy found the outside edge of Pujara, and then it's pressure, and the ball was swinging around nicely. And then I felt that India got stuck in a bit of a rut, particularly Rohit Sharma, who's such a good player, that he was almost, again, just playing for survival. Jadeja just played for survival. You're looking at Rishabh Pant, he played like a half and half shot. That's not Rishabh. England were excellent, and you're looking at Overton, who came in, Robinson once again showing his worth. When the ball's moving and like that, Aggers, I have no concern about an England bowling attack. It's no concern, we know that. But what really impressed me was the batting, because on any wicket over the last few years, let's be honest, we generally have always said, forget the wicket, forget the conditions, England will be 30 for 3, generally is always the case. So for that pair to go out and play with so much clarity and control, and have good scoring options, to see Haseeb play Test cricket, and to see him defend so well, leave the ball so well. But you know what? When he got the opportunity to score, he took it. Yeah. So when he got those short balls outside off stump, he was good enough.
He got off the mark.
He was good enough to score boundaries, and that's what you have to do at this level. You have to put a counter punch in. It's been the perfect day.
Yeah.
I think it's the third time in Test cricket history I'm led to believe that a team has bowled first, bowled the opposition out, and been no wickets down past their score on day one. England have been involved in 2 or 3 of those. When was the last one, Aggers? Think of Melbourne. Think of Melbourne.
2010.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, there you go.
Don't know when the other one is, but I know that's the third time. So it's been a great day for the England team.
And extraordinary and deep. I don't know where to start, because India were just off it in every department of the game. Batting was poor, bowling was a little bit ragged, conceding boundaries. Fielding was poor. It just the balls flying around, there were overthrows. What happened?
Apart from the toss, though.
Oh, he just won the toss.
First time.
Could have been better off losing it.
Yeah, I guess Virat's better off losing tosses here in England. It's the first time he's won it. But yes, you're spot on. I mean, the batting was... And you know what? The openers, one of the things they do with the bat, or with the ball for that matter, is you set the tone. I think KL Rahul dismissal in the very first over kind of... set the tone for the whole day. That was, you can understand an outside edge, a good delivery, but that was a poor shot from KL Rahul. Very first over.
Yeah.
And then it's India never seemed to have kind of regained the composure. And whether, like you said, was the batting, then the bowling, the fielding.
And the opening over of Sharma, I mean, they gave him the first over. It was full of wides, no balls.
8 runs,
Yeah.
and it was a 9-ball over.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 no balls, a
And
wide,
yeah.
and then an easy wide and shot outside off stump for Hasib Hamid to get off the mark as well.
And England are away.
Yeah, so it's been a really bad day at office for India across all.
I think, Aggers, what it shows over a 5-match series is that, you know, you get these situations where England, they had to win today. It was a desperation that the mentality had to be so good from the England side. And you get a sense that India probably didn't have that desperation today. They probably thought they could just play. And it's appointed to them that at this level, you can't just arrive and play and just think you're going to have a good day. You have to make those good days happen.
Let's talk about Rohit Sharma. Wonderful, charismatic, beautiful, elegant one-day player and a quick scorer. Do you think he's right playing the way he is, opening the batting in this very restrained way, or would you prefer deep to see him? Actually, I'm not talking about going and playing a T20 innings, but actually playing a little bit more freely than he is at the moment.
So he's got a set template. If you look at his innings in white ball cricket, especially 50 overs as well, all the double hundreds and all, you look at his first 20-odd runs, they're like comes at a really slow pace, then he picks it up slowly and gradually. I think he's following the same kind of a template, obviously because of Test match cricket, that period would be longer. But having said that, I think what he's still trying to find out is the right way to move between gears from second to third and fourth. For example, today, he got stuck at second. He was trying, but he just couldn't get out of that second gear. So what happened, that short pitch ball, because he's an instinctive bowler. He saw a short pitch ball, mentally maybe wasn't there, so there wasn't the commitment to the shot. He saw the ball, he went with it instinctively, but yeah, he was halfway there. But to answer your question, I would ideally want him to find that gear or that process or tempo when he moves from one to the other, and that's where he struggled in international cricket, as Test match cricket per se. He's getting those 30s and 40s. If you look at him getting those 30s and 40s, he looks like $1 million. He never looks out of form. I've said that before 1,000,000 times as well. It's just that from that 30, 40 to convert them into 80s and 100s, especially away from home, is still looking for the right way or method.
Yeah, another failure for Kohli.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen India a lot in English conditions. Generally, England have won, and you know, I've seen this series that this Indian side are different. I see that they've got that know-how of knowing how to win the big series. We've seen that in Australia, but today was a day that I thought they played like Indian teams of the last couple of series, towards the end of a series when the series had gone. You know, you go back over those series and you look at an Indian side, the ball's swinging around, there's like, oh, it's swinging, we can't play. They're a better team than that, you know. And you know what you can do in a situation like this as a team, you can still gather something back in the morning. We know that it'll probably swing a bit more. It generally always does. They can get back in this Test match. They can bowl England out for 280, 300, and they can go and get 400 in the second innings if they switch on with their mentality. But
It's fascinating how a team that was so brutal on that last day at Lords, and I can still hear that crowd noise in my ears when India won.
Maybe
there.
that was their moment.
It's gone.
Maybe that's it. They got so excited by that moment that this is a bit of a come down. That they've had a week off. I don't know what they've done in their week off, but it hasn't worked. And I just think I looked at two teams today, and one in England. You could see it in the eyes of Jimmy Anderson. He knew that he had to lead England this morning. He knew that England needed to win that first session. He knew that England needed 3 or 4 wickets in that first session to get back into the Test series. There was no other option for England but to win that opening session. Whereas for India, the 1-0 up, there's 2 to play after this. Just in the back of their minds, they were thinking, probably, you know, we desperately don't need this win today. You know, and it's about winning that key moment. And India won it at Lords on that last day. England won it this morning. It's gone a long way for England to get back in this series.
Quick word about Hamid Deep.
I thought very, very impressive. He looked busy. The only thing I would really want to see him against the short pitch bowling. I still haven't seen any bouncer from the Indian bowlers as yet, but he looked very, very comfortable batting out there, and especially batting as an opener, because he's made a comeback now finally as an opener. And most important part is he's looked busy. He's looked to score runs, not just hang in there. And as Michael was mentioning, few of the Indian batters didn't look like that. But if you look at him, he's always looking for an opportunity. Even when he defends it, the first reaction is there a single around there?
Lovely. OK, well, thank you very much indeed, you two. It has been a most extraordinary day. So run through the scores again. India bowled out for 78 in 40.4 overs. And of the 78, 16 were extras. And in reply, England are 120 without loss.